Hi, my name's John. Welcome to the first nightcap of 2024. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all my subscribers, viewers and patrons a happy, prosperous and above all, healthy 2024. In tonight's nightcap, I do a bit more on that water injector off the Ford and Steam Wagon, the one that was started last year really. I got all the bits cleaned up and now I'll show how I put it together. In part 2, I'll show a little bit of a project that it's one of the dead projects that we made a start on. We're going to do this together. It's just a short nightcap part 2 because I haven't spent a great deal of time in the workshop. I've been a little bit under the weather with this horrible cough and cold. Like everybody's kind of suffering a little bit since they come back to work really. Anyway, that's what we're going to have. We're going to have Ford and water injector, and in part 2 a little bit of a project for Dave's. Exactly the same with this one. John, you're a messy bastard, you're. That's some repair on there, it's been brazed up at some time. I put some clean gloves on because it's starting to get dirty. I don't want to get it dirty, it's that nice and clean. Right, next is the Clack valve, a non-return valve. I made a little joint for it, exactly the same as the other one. It's got the same joint and compound on. Some of these valves have springs in, some don't. The other valves moved up and down. This one didn't have a spring in, and on the old drone I found, and I'm sure the drone here, it hasn't got a spring. Now this was tight, stupid tight when I come to take it apart. We'll make sure it goes back together, stupid tight. Like that. Right, next we'll do the tap, water tap or the water valve. A little bit of the magic I'll never see stuff on there. Lovely. There has been a pin in there at one time to stop the valve moving too far, but that was snapped off a long time ago. This is the nut we had all the problems getting off, and when we stripped it, it was really tight. I had to heat it up. A little nip on there just so there's a little bit of resistance on the valve, but not too much. That's how it felt when I stripped it. Just nice. As the check nut goes on. And back that off a little bit because it's pulling the slack off the threads when I tighten it. A little bit more. That's nice. And it'll stop there and we'll tighten this up. That's nice, just nice, I like it. This is the valve that isolates it from the boiler. It goes into there, touches that seat there, and that's directly into the boiler. That's where the water goes in. The valve's in good condition, the seat's nice. I can't get the handle off it. With me drilling the pin out, honestly, it's not worth, because it wasn't giving any problems. But what I have found is the little follower, that follower there, is right down on the shoulder, which means there's no packing left in there. If we bring this out, I'll put some packing in there and put it back together. The valve is always that way, wound fully out. It's just an emergency thing in case you do need to isolate it. So we'll put some packing in there. This is the packing I'm going to use. It's fairly modern stuff. The old-fashioned stuff was full of asbestos and horrible things like that, which we're trying to avoid now. A lot of graphite in it, metal flakes in it. It's decent stuff, but without the asbestos. Come on. Get some more in there. Another couple of turns probably. Definitely getting better. One more, I think that'll do. I mean, there wasn't any in there at all. Like I say, the valve's constantly in the open position, so it wouldn't leak through here anyway. The only time it's going to need to be sealed on here is in between open and shut. And if you're shutting this valve off, you've got a problem. That's pretty good. Yep. Put a little bit of the magical anti-scuff, anti-seize paste in there. It's got nickel in sealing this. I use it a lot on automotive stuff, turbocharger studs and things. It does make a big difference when you come to take something to bits. It's like all good stuff. It's absolutely filthy. That'll need tightening up once it's been warm a few times. We'll need to nip that up. You see how the valve works. The valve is fully open there, and that's sealed up against the base of the valve. When you close it off, you turn it that way. That screws into the injector body, and that seat seals it off from the boiler. So that seat goes into there. Feel the valve touch there, so I'll screw that down. Yeah. Right. The valve's off its seat there. Find a better way to hold it to tighten that, because it needs to be very tight. Better. Right. So that's the valve closed off. That port there is completely closed, and then when you open the valve, it opens it up, and it always stops in the open position. We're all dirty now, look. I'll get some video of this in the rally season when it's on the back on the wagon. Ford and steam wagon. If it's working, I've got one more job to do, and that's to make a joint for that front face where it goes onto the boiler. And I've got some special joint material to make that out of. Quick close that valve off. And I can fill that hole with brake cleaner. And it doesn't run away, which it's not. That certainly seals nicely. Then we'll open the valve and it all runs away. Happy, happy, happy. I'm going to cut a paper joint out for this and then transfer that onto the proper jointing material. Right, stud holes next. So this is just a template so I can transfer it onto the special material I've got. Right. And one in the centre. This is the joint material. It's graphite impregnated something, and it's actually got wire inside it. It's a really strong joint material designed for steam engines. It knocks shite out your punches, cutting holes in it. That's a good hole for the centre, but I think it's slightly too big for the studs. We'll go down one size. It's not nice stuff to work with. They'll do these scissors any favours, that's for certain. Right. It will fit one way, it's got to fit one, it's got to fit one way, isn't it? None of those ways. That's none of that way. That's the one there. Well, it will fit one way, it's bound to. Yeah. Plenty of clearance on the holes, that's the way it goes there, so that's excellent. Once it's bolted on, you'll be able to trim around there with a really sharp knife and get it a perfect fit.